Hey, lovely people. Well, so today we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, or what we say for short, AI. And I'm bringing back this series that we had. I believe it was last year or the year before last, but there was a point in time where we were pretty much consistently talking about robotics, machine learning, a lot of the just advances in technology, a lot of the money that large corporations have been investing into AI and various technologies within the space, that, which is the biggest fear for a lot of us as humans, replacing a lot of the jobs. Now, we've seen reports that say there are going to be, so many jobs that AI and robotics will take away from humans. It's weird to say it like that. But also, we've seen some reports that do say that from artificial intelligence advances, robotics advancements, there will be jobs created as well. And then we've gotten into the conversation about digital creators and artificial intelligence that can do jobs that are creative, like become writers. They can do certain functions in the medical field, which we always think is safe. They can also do legal things in the legal field, like paralegal jobs, maybe even lawyers. So there's a lot of different jobs that they will take over, including YouTubers. We checked out a couple of different creators. I think one was FK and Mika, and then the other one was Michaela, where they have millions and millions of subscribers and followers on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and they are doing the job of a creator. So we'll be digging into that in future videos, of course. So with this, though, I do want to focus and spend some time on, okay, well, if we are going to be competing with and working with artificial intelligence in some way, what jobs are actually going to be safe? What type of businesses can we still, stay in as natural born humans, right? So I also do have a video. It is in private right now, but I will post it for my members, for any members that are watching this replay. That will be, I think I plan on posting that on Monday, so you'll see it. It is thanks to King of Kills sharing this kind of video that showed a laboratory of children being created. So I will go into that during the on the members only. Okay, so I'm looking at this article. It is by Fast Company. I'll be doing more research because every source says different things about the jobs that will remain. And so some of the highlights, and they're saying that I actually question, are one, creative jobs. Fast Company says that, and I quote, one category of jobs that falls into the safe zone are creatives, which include artists, singers, and musicians. So my issue with that is that, yes, maybe AI won't completely take over creative jobs like that. We're going to have to compete with them. Like, if we already have a digital human, which is artificial intelligence, that is rapping and making songs and being this artist, that puts a lot of competition in there because they have millions of followers as well. What if everyone says, hey, I'm just going to make digital creators, and then we're competing with that, right? Also, artists. Well, AI can also create art. So what does that mean? Will there be a demand for non-AI created artwork and sculptures and et cetera, et cetera? So I do question that, but they're saying humans use their life experiences, their emotions, their creativity to bring things to life. Robotics and AI uses data to learn and improve. Right. But here's my issue with that too. If I look at a painting, I don't necessarily care about the story that the person had to create that artwork. I see what I see in that artwork, which could be totally different than what the artist intended or what they were thinking of when they created it. I just want it because, hey, I think it's pretty, or hey, I see this as whatever and it fits into my decor, or maybe someone else bought it for me for my place. It just depends. So we'll have to do more research on that one. But apparently, they're saying creative jobs are safe. I question that though. Hey, King of Kill, welcome in. Hopefully, you heard me talk about that, the video that I will have for members only. I will be posting it on Monday. And then I also have one that is about FAANG companies as well. All right, so the next one they're saying is a maintenance foreman. So they're saying when running a production line, problems and bottlenecks are inevitable, and usually that's a bad thing. In this case, those unavoidable issues will save human jobs because their solutions will require human ingenuity. This is from Mark Williams, who's the head of product at People First. Apparently, they are a software company. They are running a software platform to enhance human productivity. So he's saying, although machines have the ability to assemble things faster, which we have talked about before, they can do things faster than we can as humans. It just is, right? They don't possess the analytics, domain expertise, and valuable knowledge required to solve production problems. That's what they're saying. The other thing that we talked about before, when we're really deep into the AI conversations, is that the robotics that they're using in the plants don't have these. They're not nimble, right? They can't really work with the smaller pieces that you kind of have to twist and plug in, and they can't maneuver because they don't have fingers, right? So that's one thing that, at least right now, I know they're working on it. They're working to get around that, right? And they're making a lot of robotics that should appear as human, or they look human, right? They look as close to human as they can right now, but I'm sure that will advance by 2020, 2040, 2050. Here's the thing though, is that what we're seeing, even in a space of production, is that, and I'm looking at comments, is that we as humans will be working with these machines or the AI, which is kind of scary, but we're kind of already doing it in some ways. Happy New Year, Travis. Thank you so much for the well wishes. I love that. I love that. Human ingenuity. He's hopeful. I know. I know. Because here's the other problem that we're dealing with, right? With humanity. Our attention spans are shortening. There's a loss of creativity happening. People aren't really thinking, a lot of that happening right now. There's a lot of bots in here, it looks like. Hello, Rickson, Belks. I don't know if you are bots, but hello from Twitch. Sometimes I forget about my Twitch folks. Thank you for being here. So the next thing they say, and I hope this is true. I really hope. I really hope, because I don't want to be going to a robot to perform this for me at all by any means. Hairdressers. So I think I'm gonna have to block. I don't even know how to. This is a different language. I don't know what this is or how to get rid of this. Anyway, hairdressers. So Matt Hunter, he's a director for Central Research Laboratory. It's a tech-focused co-working space and accelerator, and it's particularly for tech startups. So he's saying hairdressers are going to be something that robots cannot replace. And they have made attempts to create hair cutting machines, but outside of the buzz cut, they don't have the dexterity. Remember, we talked about the fingers. They don't have hands and fingers. The robotics that are made today, they just can't, how do you work a flat iron and make a curl? And then twirl it around and then put some hairspray and then fluff it up and do all these things that you need fingers to do. I don't really have any argument for that one. I do feel like hairdressers in the next 10 years, I don't see myself in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't know, 50 years saying, hey, actually, girl, I'm going to go to a robot and get this done. You know what? No, I'm gonna get my hair washed by a robot. Yep. I just, they do it better. No, I don't see myself doing that. The next one is therapists and social workers. So another automation-proof career is likely to be one involved in helping heal the mind, is what they're saying. I feel like yes and no, because there is some aspects of that being automated, of the whole wellness and mental therapy. There's a lot of apps that are looking to recreate some of the therapy that happens, right? If you go to see a therapist, what type of responses they would have for you. So I think yes, because you do need to empathize with people, you need to understand them, and how can a robot understand, right? I don't know. Uh, salons and barbershops are very human experiences that will never change, right? And honestly, we're talking about therapy. I feel like when I'm going to a hair salon and I'm, meeting someone, like we create a bond. I feel like men are the same way with their barbers. Men with their barbers, like they do not, they go to that one barber. That is a formed relationship and bond. And I feel similar with hairstylists. Once you find a good hairstylist, you stick with them. Yeah, I feel like that is a very human experience. And for me, at least, I don't know if this is the same way with men, but I get therapy a bit from going to the hairstylist, because you got someone washing your hair, you're super relaxed. So you're talking and you're opening up, and you feel not only refreshed from getting a new hairstyle or haircut or whatever, but you also feel kind of at ease and almost as if a weight was lifted, because you've gotten to kind of talk everything out while they're doing this process with you. The next thing is teachers. So they're saying teachers are so often unsung heroes of our society. True. They are overworked and underpaid. Very true. Yet charged with one of the most important tasks anyone can have: nurturing the growth of young people. The good news for teachers is that their jobs won't be going anywhere. I think yes. To an extent. I think there's going to be a lot of e-learning happening in schools. And then I also feel like, depending on what is going on with this pandemic and how the government kind of institutes different things for children, what I envision seeing a bit more too, is more stay at home, or homeschooling. I could see that happening as well. Rickson says, what do you think about violent video games? I don't play them. That's what I think. I do not play them. Healthcare workers is the next one, but here's the thing though, AI is coming to the healthcare world too. It's going to hit every aspect, even those quote unquote safe jobs. I do see some jobs going away, but then at the same time, we'll talk about this in another video. At the same time, there will need to be people that understand the new technology, right? There will always need to be people for that. And then there's also going to be things that AI just simply can't replace. So healthcare workers are saying healthcare workers need social intelligence to continue with patient or to connect with patients. Even our most sophisticated robots can only pretend to build relationships, empathize, or show other forms of emotional intelligence to create personal connections with people. You know what? I kind of feel like that would be the tough one. Can you imagine a nurse? So nurses have to deal with a lot. And I've heard so many different scenarios of Black women nurses, or I'll just say Black nurses. There's just not a ton of men in nursing, but particularly Black women have said they've had these instances where the patient says they don't want the Black nurse touching them. They don't want the Black nurse helping them, which is still, sometimes mind-boggling to me. Like, you have the audacity. You are literally sitting here in a hospital bed and you need help, and you have the audacity to say you don't want help from a person that has signed up, spent years and time to be someone that can help you in this scenario that you found yourself in, and you're saying you don't want them to help you because they are Black. That is beyond me. But taking that scenario of someone that's like, oh, I don't want that Black person to touch me in a hospital bed, I could see people similarly saying, hey, I don't want you to use that whatever tool. I don't want that robot. I don't want that whatever it will be. Sometimes I kind of imagine humans, like there's going to be this person that looks human and they're really not. Maybe you can tell they're not. Anywho, I don't want them helping me. So I could see that. Or, hey, when I was getting my teeth straightened, anyway, when I was getting my teeth straightened, there was a technology that started in Germany, or it was started in Germany, where a robot would do all the work with placing the braces on my teeth. I chose not to do that. And one of the biggest reasons was because I was like, oh my God, a robot? Like it just sounded weird to me. And so that is one example. You would think orthodontics and dentistry, AI is not going to replace that. Well, they already have some technology where the robot literally, and what was sold to me, how it was sold was that it's very precise. Your teeth are going to be very straight because of the preciseness of that robot. And I'm like, what am I paying? And I'm literally thinking, like, what the heck am I going to be paying you for if the robot's going to do everything? But of course, we get into the cost of these machines and the robotics, right? So as more companies adopt the technologies, of course, the prices will go down because you'll have, maybe mass adoption. But as there's few people probably deciding in leadership to take on these costs. So let's see. Hey, Sheree. Hey, Partly Cloudy. Hello, hello. What time is okay? We're 16 minutes in, so I'm going to be off of here soon. We got to get through the list though. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Sheree says, people will say, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. People will say they don't want the robot helping them, operating on them, etc. Exactly. And similar thinking to me, where I was thinking about the orthodontics scenario. Like I could have gotten the metal braces, I could have gotten the ceramic braces, which is what I did. They were just clear, like it was difficult to see them in my teeth. I don't have them on now. That was a few years ago. Well, a lot of years ago now, I feel like. Yeah, I think I got them off. When did I get them off? 2015? I don't know. I'll have to look. But anywho, for me, I was like, a robot? I don't know. Kind of scary. Vernell says, hey, everybody, e-learning is not good for children from 0 to 11 years old. You missed out on a lot of stuff. Learning how to work with other children makes friends. Listen, we live in a world, though, where parents will give their kid a phone and see you later. Like, here's a remote, watch TV, see you later. So I don't know. There could be a lot of things implemented. Caretakers, they are saying, to Vernell's point, while humans might be fine with robots flipping their burgers and artificial intelligence managing their finances, being comfortable with a robot nannying your children or looking after your elderly mother is a bigger risk or a bigger ask. And that's to say nothing of the fact that even today's most advanced robots don't have the physical dexterity, hands, soft hands that can manage and care for something very vulnerable like a child or an elderly person, to perform the movements and actions carers do every day. Even if the robots could be as spry as a human and rock a crying infant to sleep in his arms or help an elderly person change their clothes, Pickers Grill still thinks caretakers are safe from automation because humans simply couldn't feel comfortable being cared for by robots, which is the same thinking when it comes to with the nursing and healthcare field. Do you feel comfortable talking to, AI about your healthcare? Hey, sit down, play this video, it'll tell you all the stuff. Right? You want to talk to your human about any type of medical conditions, or if you're getting help from someone, you want them to be human, I would think. So those were the jobs that Fast Company had set out and shared why they can't replace these jobs. I did have another list, which we'll have to talk about. I'll kind of have to compile them in some way, just to see what each one is saying. But overall, it seems like what we're seeing is soft skills are needed, jobs that really require you to be empathetic, jobs that require you to have hand. Like you have to actually physically care for someone, maneuver small pieces, or manage holding someone or caressing someone or doing something like that. Right now, at least, they think those jobs are safe. Vernell says violent video. Right, I agree, Vernell. I agree with that. Cherie says, I think in the next 10 years, the robots will definitely be ready to do caretaking for elderly. Plus, we don't have enough CNAs to care. And that's the other piece of this. Why are companies like Apple and Microsoft and Google and others, which we talked about in past videos, why are they putting so much investment into the AI space? Well, it's because partially, one, it's just kind of how advancement is happening. But also there has been this difficulty in finding people to do certain jobs. So we've now seen with the difficulty in the restaurant front, couldn't find, waitresses and bartenders and, whatever staff in those restaurants. So they, some of them have opted to use robots in its place. So we got Flippy, the machine that flips the burgers for you and does the fries and handles that. So that way, the workers that they have, they can use them for more of the personal interaction with customers, right? We've got self-checkout in a lot of places. So the whole checking out experience or ordering experience, you just do it yourself. You've seen the kiosks where there's more and more kiosks showing up, right? So you go to a place like Panera, you have the option as soon as you walk in. It's kind of a mental thing. You can either walk further and go to an actual cashier or person, or this machine is right here. You can just automatically order what you want, or you can do it on your phone, right? Walk over and pick up your bag and go. So we've also seen the machine, or the self-driving vehicle that was tied to Domino's, where you order your pizza, your stuff gets delivered to you, right? So there's a lot of things that we've been seeing where there's this little, just a little bit of interaction with humans, if any at all, when you're just trying to do your day-to-day activities. So if you go to CVS, do you check out with an actual person? No. Most of the time you walk in, you find what you need, you go check out with not a person, a machine, and you can get a digital receipt sent to your email and you're out of there, right? So there's a lot of different advances. It's a little scary, but we are seeing more and more. You go to a grocery store. I don't know if a lot of you are using the self-checkout in grocery stores. I personally don't like it. But you definitely see a shift of you go to one store, one year they've got maybe 2 self-checkout lanes. Next year they've got 4 self-checkout lanes. Next year after that, maybe they just there's like there's mainly self-checkout and maybe 1 or 2 people, right? Very few cashiers even open. So it's a very weird time. Cherie says, I think in the next 10 years, the robots will definitely be ready to do caretaking for elderly. Plus, we don't have enough CNAs. And then she also said, also with unionization now, Starbucks and Amazon will want to remove human workers for robots. Oh, that's another topic. And we are at 23 minutes. So what do you want research this year in regards to AI, robotics? We had the series before. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about the digital creators taking our jobs, right? Okay, this isn't my full-time job, but this is like my hobby job, right? But taking that aspect away from creators and getting millions and millions of followers and seeming lifelike. We had a digital AI model with what was it, Bella Hadid in a commercial. We've seen a lot of instances where humans are working directly with either a machine or a digital creator or AI, right? In some way, overall, just artificial intelligence in some way. Burnell says no, but you still need human touch no matter what in the nursing field. In caring, that's what makes a person feel better in communicating. You get the robotics. Here's the thing. Here's the thing though, Burnell. When you look at children, you look at younger people today, you even look at my age group, we don't really, how can I say this? I don't want to say we don't like people, but we don't necessarily feel like we need interaction with people as much as generations before us, right? When you go to a restaurant and you look around at people, what do you typically see people doing? Are people just life of the party, chatting and really engaging with each other? Or are we seeing more and more slowly people like this? Mm-hmm. Scrolling, right? Um, so that is the aspect that I think there's a bit of conditioning that's already has been done to a lot of us where we're getting used to it. We're getting used to not really having the interaction with people. Generations, maybe a generation back, maybe a boomer, the whole self checkout. Like I talked to my mom and she's like, she doesn't like the self checkout. She just doesn't like it. I see a benefit in the self checkout because I'm like, well, sometimes, listen, I just want to get in and out. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want my thing and I'm out. Right? I don't and there's other times, I'm a people person generally. Uh I do want I want someone to actually check out my bag. It doesn't even have to be this full on conversation necessarily, but I just want to go to a person. So it just depends, but a lot of us really, if we think about it, we don't need it necessarily. Hey, Ray of Sunshine, I see you. Hey, Ted, came in just in time. Please, where's that AI service to help you write resumes and cover letters? It's been 2 weeks and I still can't get into that chat GPT. Really? Oh, that stinks. Well, if I can find another one, I will let you know. I'll have to test it. I'll test it out this time before or I guess not recommend, but share it. Ray of Sunshine says, these cell phones already has already changed how kids communicate. Thank goodness there's still was for them to talk physically and not just text. Yes, there's still a world where they have to communicate with each other, and that's something that we've seen in the job market too. This issue with, and also I think exacerbated by the pandemic, folks having issues with communicating or picking up a phone. I had a hiring manager one time just say, listen, this was before pandemic. It was a junior level type of role. Like we just needed someone with maybe 2 years of experience working in accounting. He was like, I just need someone. It's like, listen, I just need someone that can pick up a phone or come over to the office and talk to someone versus just email, just the message. Like sometimes you have to talk to people. And that was like a big deal for this manager. And I can understand that if you have someone that just doesn't have a question about something or any clarification, they don't want to just quickly, hey, talk me through this. All right, cool. Because the phone, when you actually engage with someone, a lot of times you are able to get a better clarification. You're able to dive in deeper into whatever it is that you need or the other person needs versus the back and forth with messaging. It takes more time also more often if you really need to have a conversation with someone versus just a quick hey, you literally just need this one thing real quick. That's different. But for different matters where you actually need to talk someone through something or there's something missing with the budget or you need to work through something with the budget or you tell them they can't do something with their budget. Hey, you can't do this. um Maybe you need some different codes, whatever it is, you need to have a conversation. And we're seeing a lot of managers have this complaint of, hey, my junior level employee doesn't want to communicate. They don't want to talk. They just want to email or they just want to send me a message in IM. They want to send me an instant message. Let me see. Hey, Mr. Rounds. How are you? Happy New Year. I prefer email still. It does get on people's nerves. Email helps me think through my thoughts at first, then I talk. I actually understand that, especially Ray of Sunshine. Are you a introvert? If you're an introvert, that makes total sense because I'm kind of the same way. Like for me to, if I have to give someone bad news, I definitely Definitely have to write out and really think through what I want to say. And then also, whenever I was a trainer, I would write out what I was going to say, even if I wasn't going to use it. I needed talking points. In the rare occasions where I had to give someone bad news, I had to have talking points. Anything that have any legality around it or legal consequences, right? I would need talking points. So I get that. Ted says, I remember Google needing to create an alert. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all can see my finger, but I'm just grabbing comments. Thank you, Mr. 100 Rounds. I remember Google needing to create an alert, letting people know they were talking to a robot because otherwise people wouldn't tell. Right, exactly. That's the world that we're in right now. So we're at the 30-minute mark. I am going to end this live chat. I am going to be really trying to stick to the 30-minute mark with my videos, even during the live streams. So for members, you have another video coming because we have to talk about what King Akil, one of my members, sent me with that whole child making laboratory. I have my thoughts about just the idea of that and some other AI topics. So that is in YouTube right now. I just have to, I'll post it next week. And then I have the other video on FANG companies. As you know, I work for one of the companies. So I just want to give some recruiting tips. So that will also be a members only for job seekers, those that are job seekers only member. Anywho, if you have thoughts or if you want topics on AI and robotics, let me know in the comments so I can come back to it. Because we're going to start up the series again so we can continue the conversation on, okay, what jobs will exist? What is really going on in the world of AI? What is happening, right? So we're going to keep talking about it. I hope you all have a great night. I have to get off of here. I will see you in the next video, lovely people. Bye.